Greetings, listeners. Welcome to Consulting Between Friends. And I'm your host, Michael Holmes Jr., along with your co host, Shay R. Jones. Today's show will focus on using your skills as a resource to become an entrepreneur. So, let's get started after a short break. Everyone is always planning things, and advertising is needed to make it happen. So, if it's personal or business, let Pinpoint Designs and Images solve that problem. With Pinpoint Designs and Images LLC, you will receive quality work and professional service at a great price. The service that is offered: flyers, business cards, programs, invitations, photo books, ad booklets, and much more. Michael Holmes Jr., owner/principal designer of Pinpoint Designs and Images LLC. Contact me by email or social media. Email address is pinpointdesignsandImages@gmail.com, and Instagram Pinpoint Designs, and Facebook Pinpoint Designs and Images. We are back. Living in today's society pays to be resourceful. It is a necessary skill to have. Interesting to say, what does this really mean to be resourceful? Let's see what the Webster Dictionary has to say. First, the word resourceful is defined as having the ability to find quick and clever ways to overcome difficulties. And resourceful is defined as being able to make do with what is available to create a source. However, for someone who has a business or wants to start a business, being resourceful has different meanings. Being with being able to create opportunities, think outside the box, and being resourceful is being able to visualize all the possible ways to achieve your goal. This could be a roadmap to entrepreneurship. Now, Shay and I will talk about our journey as an entrepreneur. Welcome to Consulting Between Friends, and I'm your host, Michael Holmes Jr., and I'm the owner of Pinpoint Designs and Images.
And I am Shay Jones, the owner of Class Act Entertainment and host of this show with my brother, Michael Holmes. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good.
That's good. And I want to just say this. Listeners, I just want to tell you thank you for supporting the show, supporting Michael. And I want to just thank Michael for, you know, keeping me involved with the show, keeping me involved with understanding the direction that he's going in with him. And I want to also congratulate him because he's my brother and I have seen how much that he has put time into making his show something that is informative, something that is very dear to other folks that are listening around the world about the topics that he's bringing to the table. As you know, I have not been the co-host in the last couple of podcasts, and I just want to tell him thank you for keeping me involved. But tonight we're doing something a little different. We're actually at my mother's house, and she wanted to hear it and be a part of the podcast. And we just kind of lounging around and lamping, sipping a little wine, having a little dinner. And tonight we're gonna do something different. Typically everybody's used to Mike doing the uh, interviews of the guests that he has. But tonight we're gonna interview him, and talk about his story. And the reason why is because there's a lot of people out here that want to create their own business. They want to be entrepreneurs. And we're going to talk about things tonight of how to lead yourself into understanding that you can be your own business owner. You can take a lot of opportunities become an entrepreneur in this world, especially after COVID, and creating different avenues for yourself. And I'm going to just start off by asking Michael a couple of things about himself and how he got to having a business, being the owner of Pinpoint in Designs LLC, and how he created this podcast and how he became a director over doing a lot of Zoom meetings. But I know, for me, being his friend and his brother, I know how he started. But we like to talk to you guys about it, and I hope you enjoy the show. So, Mike, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
How do you feel on being on this end of the table of the person interviewing you? Then you got to tell your story, so everybody.
Well, it's going to be very interesting, but I'm looking forward to see what you're trying to ask me.
Well, I hope so. And let me tell you, folks, we've been drinking some wine, smoking some cigars, we've been eating, we've just been enjoying the day, and we just want y'all to be relaxed and laugh and have a great time and use your imagination of how you can take it to the next step. So, Mike, so you are the owner of your business, your graphic design business.
Correct.
I know you have had some opportunities in your life that took your graphic design business to another level because you worked for a company and you have an opportunity to do some things there to, make your business talents more resourceful. And then I know, as being a resource to your company, also kind of opens some doors for you to actually look at being an entrepreneur and a business owner. So I want to just start to your beginnings of how did you get involved in doing graphic arts?
Well, from the beginning, I started around about like 10th grade.
Okay.
It was basically an entrepreneur I know by the name of Dorita Hooper, who lives in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and the name of her shop is La Chic Salon.
So when you say entrepreneur, she was a business owner?
Yes.
Okay.
She was a business owner. She saw something in me.
Okay.
She threw a few parties, plus also she had her own salon. So she had me do the advertisement for her salon.
Okay.
And once I was done printing the flyers and stuff, I used to post them around Northwestern State University.
So let me ask you this. I want to go back to this. So when you say she had you to put out flyers and she had you to do some graphic arts for her, how did she know you can do graphic arts, or did she know you can do graphic art? How did she even come by saying, Michael, I need you to create a flyer? Because that's pretty much what you're saying that you did, right?
Yes.
So how did you come by creating a flyer for Miss Dorita? And let me say this first. Shouts out to Miss Dorita because you created a monster out of this guy.
Well, it really was totally by accident. She just really believed in me. I had a computer.
Okay.
But at that time, basically, I didn't even have the graphic design software. At that time, I only had this thing called WordPad.
WordPad. That sound like an iPad.
It's very old. It's before Word.
It was before Word. Oh, wow.
You couldn't really do anything. I just went in the center of the page, typed what she wanted, went on the internet, cut and paste Easter egg.
So you were just doing designs on a piece of paper and just seeing it, making something that looked good.
Yeah, basically, you might say I kind of threw something together, but it was good. She was satisfied,
and it worked.
And yes, it worked, and I'm glad that she decided to let me continue to do business for her in the future.
Okay, so you said something about college and putting out flyers.
Yes.
So you created the material she needed to promote herself.
Correct.
But then she used you also to promote it.
Correct. I used to go post in the dormitories, around the student union, and so on. And at that time, when I was in college, I was not popular at all. But people did saw the flyer, but they didn't know who did it.
Right. Well, that says a lot about where we're going to end up in this conversation about who you are and why you do what you do. So Ms. Dorita gave you the opportunity to tap into a certain skill that you didn't even realize that you had inside you, and you did it. you liked it, and you stuck with it.
Correct.
So from sticking with it, what happened after that? Sticking with it.
Well, after that, I just continued to develop my skills.
Okay.
And I also continued to connect with other people who needed businesses.
Okay.
And she also led me into other businesses. One of them I do know at the time was a cleaning service, which was Echo Cleaning Service.
Okay.
It was a Black-owned business.
Okay.
And he needed a flyer.
Mhm.
And he was at the shop one day, and he basically just said, I need a flyer. So she recommended me to him.
To do the flyer. So let me ask you this. So when you were doing these flyers and you were getting referred to other business owners, did you see at that time this is something that you wanted to do?
I started realizing this is something that I'm doing, and I need to look more into it.
Okay. So did you have to start getting new software, or did you just kind of stuck with the things that you were already doing?
Well, first I started sticking to what I had, but then I started investing and I started learning other software.
Okay.
First, I started with greeting cards software at first.
Okay.
And then after I started with greeting card stuff, I basically just went ahead and looked at other softwares that came around.
Okay. And so Ms. Dorita now became a spokesperson or a marketing director for you to create more things for other businesses.
Yes.
Because you said something about creating new businesses, but you were just actually adding the things that you can do as a value to their business to market themselves on a printing and designing side.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Like when I did mention Echo's Cleaning Service, y'all, actually the guy who owned Echo's Cleaning Service at the time, his father, I'm just gonna let you know, he basically said, I'd rather do business with a Black man. But so it's like they took their business from at the time which used to be called Kinko's and brought it to me. And let me tell y'all, they just believed in me so much.
Wait. I gotta stop you. You said you were dealing with the company that created Kinko's?
No. What they basically did was they used to go to Kinko's.
Okay.
They left Kinko's and went to me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because basically his dad said, well, I want to support a
support a Black man that is doing some of the same things that can do what Kinko's did, because you didn't actually have a company at this time.
No.
But you were designing and you were printing and you were doing the things that Kinko can do.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. And to that company who saw Michael as a startup entrepreneur or a startup guy who showed interest in printing and designing, and I want to just give a shout out to them, because the guy that you supported and you invested in, he's doing a lot of major things today. So what's the name of those companies? What's the name of that company, and who's those people again? Let's give them a hey.
Echo's Cleaning Service in Natchez, Louisiana.
Echo Cleaning Service. Hello. We just gave y'all a shout out, and we want to see a check in the mail. But go ahead, man. Finish up.
Well, that's really my humble beginnings.
Well, I know one thing about you, since me and you have been together. You are very diligent and you're very persistent and consistent at doing what you say you're going to do, and you're going to then give the best job to the customer when they come to you to do printing, design, or et cetera, et cetera. So let me ask you this. Going into the business, advancing into the craft that you have, when you saw that, you had something to offer, what did you do from that point? Did you try to create a business from that point, or did you go into working for companies that also did graphic designs, printing, layouts? What did you do from that point?
Well, I actually applied for a printing company, Icon. And it was called now Rico.
So let me ask you this. So when you say that you applied, so you applied to get a job.
Correct.
With a company that, that was more, that was bigger in advance than what you can do at this time.
Yes.
So you added your talent to a company so you can learn, or you just needed a job? Which one was it?
I needed a job, but what I also started realizing, y'all, is that actually this really was a good place for me because it allowed me to express myself more.
Okay.
Allowed me to improve in myself.
Your skill.
With my skills.
Okay.
And learn how the printing world actually works.
Okay. So this was a very big accomplishment in actually adding to the value to your skill, your talent, and where you wanted to go with graphic design and printing.
Correct.
Okay. So talk about the job a little bit. Talk about how when you got the job, assuming you got the job. Talk about so talk about how when you got the job and you got onto this business, where did you start? How did you create opportunities for yourself, for people to see, your managers, the owners, see that you can become, that you are valuable assets to their company to grow?
Well, when I first started with Icon, which is now Rico, I was working at Amzare's law firm.
Okay.
And I was delivering the mail and working a copy center.
Wait, you was delivering mail?
Yes.
So you started on delivering mail?
Yes, and working a copy center. And
so wait. Okay, so let me stop you, and I'm sorry, listeners. So when you say, speak more on it. So this printing company was a lot more than just a printing company.
Correct.
So talk about this company, like, because you said you were delivering mail, like that had nothing to do with printing.
It's multiple things that it offers to the customer that needs to have these services.
So who were these type of customers that you had to deliver mail?
Law firms, working on law firms.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
Doctor's offices. Schools.
Okay, schools. So was this company connected to a certain entity, like a school, a law firm, a doctor's office? I mean,
they contracted to work there.
So they contracted to work that. So, I would have to safely guess. Let's just say a hospital. They had a printing company inside of a hospital that did the mail delivery, the
Not
printing.
exactly.
Okay, explain.
Brico, the company I work for, is contracted to work at a hospital.
Okay.
And it's the printing service plus also meal service.
Meal service. Okay. So when you say meal, like food?
No.
Okay.
Mail.
Mail. Yes. Okay. So how you say
MAIAL.
Get us straight. Get me straight and get the customer straight. We need to know what you're talking about, because at first you sound like you said meal. So okay, so mail service. So the mail service, this company Rico, correct, is a mail service that deals with printing. Mm-hmm. It deals with sorting the mail out to be delivered to different office. Correct. And also, I guess, I guess grabbing or getting, different material that have anything to do with printing or graphics or anything like that. Anything come to the computer that needs to be shaped, restructured, layout, designs. So this company actually does this for hospitals, lawyers, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, how did you use your talents of being a graphic designer and a layout design person work for this company? How did you become a assets to this company? How did you see yourself saying, "Hey, I can see how I can make this happen for me coming into this company"?
Well, to start off, basically, I saw that it was an opportunity at this time.
Okay, opportunity is a big word. That's a big word. Opportunity is a big word for you, for anyone, because I could say for myself. Mm-hmm. Opportunities. I created every opportunity that I needed to grow my business as Class Act Entertainment. As you know, we're a production company.
Correct.
And we are a production company that do dinner theater. We do plays, concerts, and things. So for me, opportunity for people to see my skills, I had to do somewhat of the same path what you did.
Mm-hmm.
I went to work for different production companies, and I worked around promoters that were doing parties and events. And I had a lot of ideas because my humble beginnings, if you don't mind me saying, when I was a kid, I was the kid that did the productions, when I say productions, did the talent shows for the family gatherings, if it was a family reunion or it was someone's birthday, grandfather, aunties, father, mother, birthdays, I was the kid that would say, hey, we're going to put on a show for everybody. And I use my organizational skills to put these shows on. I was the A&R, which is the artist repertoire. So, as you know, that's what the A&R means, artist repertoire. So I was dressing my cousins up in certain outfits and giving them the parts that they're going to sing in different songs that I picked out.
So basically, you had an imaginative mind.
I had a very, very big imaginative mind. I have a great friend by the name of DeVell Crawford. He's the piano prince of New Orleans. And I would book him for some of my shows with Class Act Entertainment to do the musical piece.
I remember that.
You do. And this guy, he embarrassed me. And I'm going to embarrass myself right now. He embarrassed me. He told the audience, he's like, look, you got to support Shay because, his imagination is so big. And he watched Mr. Rogers till he was 12 years old. And I was like, I couldn't believe he said this to the audience. But after some time passed and I really paid attention to what he was saying, that is true. I really had some very humble beginnings to entertainers and characters that was on TV that helped shape me to let me know that I can just do whatever I wanted if I could just imagine it. Mr. Rogers was one of them. It's Captain Kangaroo, and I hope I'm not.
It's true. Don't worry about it. I used to watch all of those.
I hope I'm not being corny to the audience, but
you gotta start from somewhere.
Yeah, and they helped shape me. But listening to you, you were a young man who took your talents, knew what your talents was, you knew what you wanted. It sounded like you did an inventory of your talents when you started to look to go to jobs, and when you needed those, to lead into those jobs, you needed those jobs to help benefit what you were already skilled to do, and you wanted to do if you wanted to turn into an entrepreneur, which happened. You turned it into entrepreneurship, even if you didn't see it at the time. You still was wise enough to know how to do an evaluation of what you were good at, and you knew what type of jobs to go get. So those type of jobs open up so many doors for you. Because we're friends, as you know, but they open up the doors for you to do the other things that brought you to where you're at today.
That is correct.
Right. And I know that because me and you've been friends over 10 years now, and we have a good background of the same thing, and we both piggyback off of supporting each other in what we do. But before I get so caught up into our relationship and how we got together, I want to just go back to you working for Rico. Mm-hmm. So working for Rico and the talents that you have, and you started to see the opportunities inside of Rico that was missing. Did you see that it was missing, or did you just create it yourself to work for this printing marketing company that in graphic design company? Did you see the opportunities? Did you see where the loopholes was, and you just got yourself involved? How did you grow inside of Rico?
Well, basically, y'all, I saw my coworker was struggling mostly in the copy center.
Okay.
And really, it wasn't really her problem. What it is, technology changes constantly.
Yes, sir.
And it's something you can't really control.
Okay.
I'm just have a lot of computer skills. Mm. And it's also to this point now when a copy job comes in or just anything, just like it got to be done. So it doesn't matter like.
So not to cut you off, when you say copy something came in on the copy machine.
Correct.
So explain what that is so that our listeners can understand. Something came in on the copy machine or in a copy report of the computer. What was that, and how did you attack it to do it for the actual? I guess this is customer that's in the hospital or lawyers or whatever. How did you look at it and say, I can do that, and you got yourself connected to that? So, because you said that someone was struggling, a coworker was struggling in the copy center.
Correct.
So, tell us how. I'm sorry, guess. Tell us how did that happen? How did you get yourself connected to fixing the problem or putting yourself in a position to fix the problem?
Well, I realized it was something that was starting to be constantly.
Okay.
And I do have multiple computer skills.
Okay.
At one time, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I used to pretend I was dumb because I didn't want to basically be in charge of somebody's property that wasn't mine.
Gotcha.
But I basically started realizing, okay, I'm going to change this because I started realizing that I need to go ahead and go further because I saw my assistance was needed.
Gotcha. So listeners, let's key on something very important that Michael said. You used to play dumb. Mm-hmm. So you played dumb because you didn't want to do it, or you played dumb because you felt like if you did do it, people would take advantage of your skills. Because I need to know why you played dumb if you knew you can fix something automatically.
I played dumb really because I didn't want to be responsible for nobody other property that wasn't mine.
Gotcha. So, in actuality, what you did do, you just didn't assert how valuable you can be at this moment.
Correct.
With the company.
Correct.
Okay. Because, when you say you play dumb, that's just kind of like, I don't want to do it. I can't help nobody. But at some point, you start to look at that's a valuable asset that you can offer, and it can help the company to expand and grow on what they supposed to have been doing, but they just didn't have somebody in place to do it.
Yes, I don't think they really planned it that way. I just basically saw opportunity, and I just took advantage of it and continued to grow.
And how did you
plus, also, I like learning multiple things.
So how do you like that? How do you like that you finally said to yourself, you know what, I'm not going to take this role. I'm gonna take a different role. I'm gonna be some assets to this company to continue to grow. How did that just flip in your mind? Like, I'd rather be the assets of just saying, didn't set of saying, hey, they ain't got it. I'm here to do my job.
No, I'm not about one to say it's just my job. That's all I'm doing.
Right.
I basically saw opportunity. I said I'm going to do it. You did. But actually, I really enjoyed it. I started learning more. Right. And I was able to take some of the stuff I have learned to go ahead and go into my business of pinpoint designs and images.
Okay, so that's the point that I was trying to get to. So you really started looking at all you can do is advance yourself.
Correct.
As a business owner. Correct. As an entrepreneur.
Correct.
And you made yourself very resourceful to the company.
Yes.
Because they didn't have somebody who can do those things.
Yes, sadly, but it's true.
So you took your talents, your skills to enhance the business that you work for. Mm-hmm. And also enhance yourself to learn a little bit more and be more connected to this company and be valuable for this company.
Yes.
So before you became a business owner and walked away from this job, you also made the job understand you're very resourceful and you're somebody that they need to have on the job.
Yes, it started coming around even more.
I like
and
that.
And when I saw multiple positions come around or opportunities, I just jumped for it.
You jumped for it because at this point now you see there's a void and there is opportunity to continue to make yourself more valuable for this particular company.
Yes.
So this particular company could continue to make money and continue to stay in a contract with the hospital lawyers and stuff like that. So you really became a valuable source to this company.
Yes,
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's really true, but really, I really enjoy it because I like helping people.
So
and I saw it was a really good thing to do.
So now you are at the job.
Yes.
You're holding this position of a guy that can do it all.
Correct.
Layouts, design, printing. You probably even know how to, you probably have learned at this time how to even clean the ink and add ink to these machines. You probably have learned all this stuff at the same time.
No, it wasn't all at the same time. I saw another opportunity come around, and I said, I'm going to jump towards this.
Okay.
Because it allowed me to go ahead and start learning some more.
About the machines.
Yes.
Right. So you learn about machines, you learn about the computer. Well, you knew about computers, but you just added to what they were missing at this company. You're learning how to do layouts. You learn how to fix a graphic if you have to. Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. So you probably learned how to just order the paper and everything that needed to go, for this company to have to send out to their different constituents. Whatever getting printed on paper, you got to send it out. You probably learned how to do all that. You probably even knew how to even get the dang paper off a truck. If they come with, all kind of, well, you learned everything about this business. At this time, you are pretty much a manager with a manager over you.
Well, yeah, I started learning about inventory as well. Okay. But one thing I can tell all the listeners really is, even though I learned all this here, and even though I have pinpoint designs and images, mm-hmm. I did not take the resources that they use to run the company because I don't believe in that.
So let's be clear. So the resources that they use, so the companies that they would get the paper from,
correct.
The companies that they had to come bring the machines or fix the machines. You're saying that you did not build relationships with those companies?
Correct, because I believe in keeping those separate.
Okay. Well, I will say this to you. As a business owner, as you know, every relationship is a relationship you build on your own.
Correct.
And for my guests, understand that that's not being faithful, because I know you're a loyal, faithful person, and certain things you just don't do. But the only thing I will have to correct you on in this conversation is that nothing is wrong with building relationships with other vendors that can also help your business, because you can offer something to them that the company that you currently work for can offer. Okay.
I agree with that,
but I still respect your moves. You still, everybody do things differently. But I'm just saying, for the guests that are listening, as long as you're not doing anything that is undermining or conniving, make all the relationships you can, and whatever, in every level. So in me saying that to you, excuse that noise. That's the computer software. You're going to hear something that's tell us, hey, you said something amazing. That's how y'all take it. Anyway. So the next thing for me is to you, Michael. So at some point, being in this job and people knowing that you can do all of these things. You can create business for the doctors. Business cards for the doctors. You can make flyers for the hospital. You can make banners. You can make booklets. So at this point, did that create opportunity for you to do business for people personal?
I did took a lot of those skills that I have learned basically and brought it on a personal level.
Okay. Even though you had the business before you started working for the company, you still did you pick up more business by being at the hospital and people seeing and knowing you are a young man that can do flyers, tickets,
well, the cards. Ones who do know me personally knew I took the skills.
Okay. So that's a yes. So you created more business opportunity for yourself with your coworkers.
Yes.
And people around the hospital.
Yes.
That's good. So,
but I did it separately.
I understand that. So leading into you doing these things, showing your skills, and can produce these skills for those different customers. When did you actually start thinking about, okay, you know what? I do have a business. I have developed my skills in working with this company. I need to take it more serious and be more focused at building your own company for yourself that you can leave Rico and do things for yourself.
Um, basically, yo, I'm still like really thinking a lot of this here, but I do know one thing is I have a lot of talents and skills, so I know I'm capable to go further, basically.
Okay, so what I mean by that, let me get that question to you again. Now that you are a business owner that is doing good in doing flyers and layouts and cards for different individuals, at what point when you were working for Rico, she was like, I'm giving all my skill and all my talents, and I became very resourceful to them. I need to do this for myself, where you can see it for yourself lucratively to be your own business owner, that you're not giving those same talents to Rico, you're giving all those talents and those resources just to yourself.
Um, for you referring referring the question, I'm going to say now because I basically know that I'm very talented. I'm getting to this point now, and I'm like, it's time for me to go and use more of my skills.
So you just don't want to be working for anybody else but yourself, creating all the opportunities for yourself with all of the skills that you've learned working with Rico, but understanding that now today, Michael Holmes Jr. could be his own boss.
Yes.
Gotcha. So with that being said, outside of the printing company, as you have created the podcast, you've created Zoom calls, um, you've also have taken the skills that you've learned from printing and doing graphic designs.
Mm-hmm.
In this time of COVID, we had a whole year where things had got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't meet, we couldn't talk to different people. How did you take some of the same skills of graphic designs, being on the computer, and make your life work through a pandemic that also have still turned into, after the pandemic has been over, it's still, the pandemic's over, we're still dealing with survivors and we're still dealing with COVID. And I want to send out some blessings to every family, every listener that is listening to this podcast. We want to send our deepest regards, and we want to send out our Lord's Prayer, and letting everyone know that we are with you guys. We understand the situations that y'all are going through. To life still goes on. Let's be a legacy of the people that we've lost. Let's be a legacy of the things that we're doing as Black business owners, in that our rich tradition in where we're going to be in our lives. So I just want to give some light to that. But getting back to you, Mr. Michael Holmes, I know you have taken not just pinpoint in designs to another level. You've taken your skills of learning how to do things on a computer to master and mix, like you're doing with the podcast. You learned how to do this, and you've turned this into a business on the engineering side and on the mixing side, because of COVID. Mm-hmm. Because people wasn't really doing any parties or creating their business and needed flyers and things like that. Excuse me, guys. I'm taking a glass, taking a little sip of my wine because this is a chill moment. But anyway, and I'm sorry about that. Mike's probably gonna be mad because he's genuinely the host, and I'm co-host.
Nah, I'm fine with it.
But anyway, um, Mike have learned how to make his presence in the pandemic still work for other companies and other people by creating podcasts, by creating the management of Zoom calls and things like that. He's totally has become a very consistent entrepreneur here about things. So let's talk about that. How did you do that? How did you think about that after being a entrepreneur of a printing company, design company, layouts, and graphic company? How did you even come about that as well too with the podcasts and Zoom calls and stuff all?
Well, I know you mentioned about the pandemic. To let y'all all know, my first pandemic project was doing a flyer, doing a poster for St. Joseph the Worker Catholic Church in Marrero, Louisiana. That was the first opportunity I have. The next thing what I basically took around was I realized Zoom was becoming more popular and I belong to two organizations. So I say I want to offer my talent towards them. So I decided to go ahead and take classes in learning Zoom. And the reason why I wanted to learn this because I wanted to learn another skill during the pandemic. Like a lot of other people, they started learning more skills and talents to further their education. And that's what I wanted to do. So I took the opportunity to go a step further in learning Zoom. And I started realizing I'm starting enjoying it. So then I decided to go ahead and start offering it to the people that I know, basically. So I started hosting Zoom meetings for two organizations. And one of them is the Jeremiah Group, and the other is the Health Ministry Group. I started monitoring the meetings, and both of them enjoyed that I decided to go ahead and do that.
So what you're saying is that again, you did an evaluation of the skills that you knew, and you created another opportunity to do things for people that needed something, but also you looked at it as this can be something that financially you can help yourself with due to COVID time when people were suffering without different jobs and things like that. But you
Correct.
still can create, and that's a great thing. You know what that tells me, right, about you? You're a genius, man. You're very smart. You're very wise in different situations that most people probably not understand how to look at what a resource, how gifted and talented are, so they can become a resource to what's needed.
Well, thank you for saying that. I forgot to let y'all also know the other project I got myself into during COVID is really this podcast.
Yeah. That's something I didn't lead way into. The podcast also came from COVID, something to do. And now that you have the engineering down, I see that people are trying to get in contact with you to help them create their podcasts and stuff like that. Man, this is a good season for you. How do you feel about all of this?
I feel good, y'all.
Is it overwhelming?
It's starting to get a little overwhelming, but to be honest with y'all, I like a lot of tedious things. Mm-hmm. And I'm a hardworking person. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna make sure the job get done and it's gonna be done on time. And make sure I put all my hard work and the product is gonna be done like it's supposed to be done.
Well, that's one thing about you. You're gonna definitely put your hard work in, and you're definitely gonna be very diligent to make things be good and very professional. But let me say this to you, man. I really appreciate you once again for being my brother, my friend, for these years. And over these years, we've been friends that you have totally turned into a brother of mine over 12 years. And I don't really make a lot of friends. My circle is very small. Your circle is very small. Our families connect. And I just really thank you for allowing me to be a intricate part in your life, and that you trust and believe in what I'm doing. And but I'm very proud of you, brother. And I just want to continue to see this grow, and whatever I have to do to be a part of it growing, I will do. But take from this conversation that we had, I hope our listeners understand, to be an entrepreneur, business owners, look at your talents. Put them in a position in your mind to know what can you offer any other business to advance them, help them to sharpen your skills to turn into a business owner yourself. I have a motto, and the motto is you got to learn how to follow so you can learn how to lead. And learn how to follow it's a big key. And don't ever hesitate yourself or hinder yourself to follow to be the greatest that you can be in your field. And with that being said, as the co-host of Consulting Between Friends, I don't have much more to say to Mr. Michael Holmes Jr. that has been a great host and a guest as the interviewee. And I love sitting on this side of the seat. So, Mike, thanks once again to having me a part of this show and us moving forward, brother.
You're welcome. I have enjoyed this. And so, y'all listeners out there, even though this was the co-host's first time, this is not the last.
No, so, it would not be.
Just keep on listening because we have a lot of things planned.
Yes. So good night, good evening, good morning, whenever you ever hear this. And Shay Jones out.
And same as me, Michael out.
Yes. In closing of this show, I would like to say that we pointed out things that you can look into yourself to do an inventory about the skills and talents that you have that can become a resource to a business or organization that you work for or that you have got yourself involved in that can turn into opportunities to be an entrepreneur and a business owner. So please listen to this recording, listen to our show over after these messages. Thank you.
One last thing. Remember to support Black business owners and entrepreneurship. Thank you for listening to Consulting Between Friends. Consulting Between Friends is available on Google Podcasts and Spotify, as well other platforms that are available. So like and subscribe. Need to contact us and leave us a comment? You can find us on Instagram at Consulting, the letter B, Friends. Once again, Consulting B Friends on Instagram. And email address is consultingbfriends@gmail.com. Once again, consultingbfriends@gmail.com. Consulting Between Friends. Thanks to everyone for making this possible. Your host, Michael Holmes Jr. and co-host Shay R. Jones. The producer and content creator, Michael Holmes Jr. Artwork cover, Michael Holmes Jr. Original music, a DJ name / content distributor, Power 77 Radio.